Welcome back, curlies. So if you've been following me on IG, you know that I am hosting a all-natural hair care regimen challenge for the month of September in honor of my natural anniversary. I'm using all natural handmade products in my hair care regimen. So that's for wash day, whenever I style it. That's shampoos or cleansers, leave-in conditioners, and stylers are all going to be handmade items. And look at this, you guys. My hair definitely needs some TLC right now. So to start off my challenge, I want to start my hair off on a clean slate. That means getting rid of old product residue and buildup, opening up the hair cuticle to receive all of these nutrients and vitamins from these all-natural ingredients, and getting rid of these frizzy ends and flyaways. One way I like to do that is with bentonite clay. This is super easy to DIY. Some of the things you will need are bentonite clay, of course, plastic or wooden spoon and bowl. You also need some raw and organic apple cider vinegar, preferably Bragg's, and a hair oil. I like Jamaican black castor oil. I'll be adding links to all the items used in this video down in the video description box. You're going to want to add as much clay as you will need. If you have pretty long, thick hair like myself, you may want to do at least a cup, maybe a cup and a half, so that you can fully coat your strands. So once we have our clay in the bowl, we're going to go ahead and add the apple cider vinegar, and this is just going to be enough to moisten the clay and get that chemical reaction going that's going to activate the clay's benefits. We're going to get that stirred up really well before we go in and add our oil. Right here I have like an oil mixture, but my preference personally for my thick hair is Jamaican black castor oil. So go ahead, get your oil mixed in, stir your concoction all together, and you may notice that you may need a little bit more clay or a little bit more oil. Like I said, this is really a personal preference and personal need based on your hair. If you feel like you need a little bit more moisture in your clay to make it easier to apply, you can add water. And if you want to definitely make it so that it's softer on your hair, because it can be very hard and drying, you want to add a little bit more oil. I'm just going in here adding a little more water. You'll see me adding more clay here in a minute because it got a little bit runny, and you definitely don't want to try and apply it while it's runny. It gets a little messy as it is, you guys, and so you definitely want to cover up when applying this, but make sure it's not super runny and soupy, but a nice yogurt-like consistency. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started applying the clay. You'll definitely want to wet your hair, preferably with warm water, to open up those cuticles. You may also want to keep a bottle of water nearby so that you can reapply water as needed if you feel your hair getting dry before you finish the application. If you prefer, you can always do a pre-rinse before applying the clay. What I did here was just a mixture of apple cider vinegar and water, just to kind of pre-cleanse my hair before adding the clay. And if you guys have made it with me this far, why don't you go ahead, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos from this series. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more DIYs and homemade recipes for your hair. Alright, so we're just going in here applying the clay. While I'm doing that, let me give you the deets on why this mask works. So bentonite clay is antimicrobial, and it can help you with irritated or flaking scalps. I remember when my girls had cradle cap after they were first born. After I put this mask on their hair, their scalp was cleansed and free of flakes, and I never had to worry about that again. So it's excellent if you have an irritated scalp. Bentonite clay also contains a mixture of natural minerals that are beneficial for your hair and can encourage growth. Bentonite clay will moisturize, condition, soften, and reduce frizz, you guys. This stuff is amazing. Scientists believe that the clay absorbs oils and dirt from your skin, which is why it has these properties of purification. It contains natural minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, and these may also provide additional benefits. Now, people actually take the clay internally as well as externally. Can also help your skin. I'll go in here a little later and show you how I do a quick facial mask with the bentonite clay. Now, it was formed from volcanic ash, and it gets its name from Fort Benton in Wyoming, where you can find this in large amounts. But volcanic ash is found all over the world, as you can imagine, and the same clay is found in those regions. So scientifically, the theory is that bentonite clay absorbs materials by sticking to their molecules or ions. And once the clay leaves, or you rinse the clay from your hair, it will take the toxins or other molecules along with it. One of the reasons that it is recommended that you do not use a metal spoon or metal bowl is that the bentonite clay can leach out the metals from those items, and then you'll be just adding clay that is infused with metal, and you don't want that. You want to have clay that hasn't absorbed anything else except maybe that apple cider vinegar and water, so that once you put it on your hair, it can bond with those molecules of dirt and the extra product buildup that's already on your hair, pull all of that out, and once you rinse it out, it rinses all of those things away. So personally, I've been using bentonite clay probably for maybe about 10 years now, and I've definitely noticed its benefits. I haven't used it as often. I would probably do it maybe like once or twice a year in the past, except this year I decided to start applying it a little bit more often. I think I came across a video where somebody was doing it like once a month, and I was like, hey, that's not a bad idea, because I always get great results from it. And I know as a low porosity gal, I can get product buildup really quickly. Sometimes you're just applying product and it's just sitting on top of those closed hair cuticles. And so I said, well, let me try doing bentonite clay instead of any other cleanser. Let me do that versus doing a shampoo or a sulfate-free shampoo. And I've been liking how it has definitely softened and cleansed my hair. And not only does it really deeply cleanse your hair, but it also leaves you with great curl definition and amazing shine. And so I'm just continuing to take care here that I apply the clay very liberally to every strand, every curl, no curls left behind. And just make sure my hair is fully saturated with it. And like I said before, if you notice during your application process that your hair starts to dry out a little early, just go ahead, apply some water. You'll see me do this a few times back and forth, applying water before I add the mask to my hair, just so that it doesn't dry out. Your hair should not be super dry and crunchy while you're doing this. That is counterproductive. Trust me, you guys, definitely make sure your hair is wet when you are applying this. It can make the rinse out process extremely difficult and leave you with really dry hair. I know, I've done it in the past. Alright, just continue the process until your hair is fully saturated. I am just going to fast forward through all of this here and meet you guys at the end or before I do my rinse out. Now I'm getting down to the end here, the last few strands, and it looks like I had just enough clay to cover my entire head. I was in fear of running out for a little bit there. So what you want to go ahead and do is cover your hair with a plastic shower cap, or you get your trusty Walmart bag. Whatever works for you, whatever you have laying around. We all have a million of those bags in the cabinet at home, right? And then I just go in with the remaining clay and apply it to my face. As a rule, whenever the clay feels dry on my skin or my hair, I take that as my cue that it has been applied, and it's taken effect, and it is time to rinse it out. So what I typically do when I do bentonite clay mask is I'll go ahead and I'll take whatever the remaining amount of clay that's left over and I'll apply it to my face, so I can also get that deep cleansing, purifying effects on my face as well. Just a little beauty tip thrown in there. Usually my goal is to do it like twice a month, so that's usually when I do it. So I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes or until it gets hard. It doesn't need to sit longer than that. It's really after it gets hard, you need to get it out of your hair. So I will do that and I'll be back. That is all there is to it. How about a bit of a close-up on all that moisture, shine, and curl definition? Thank you for watching. You guys, if you stuck with me for this long, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I update my all natural series.